Yep.
Okay. Episode 20 of What Are You Playing? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to What Are You Playing, where we tell you the titles we're working through.
Be they old or be they new.
Listen, learn, and ask a question or two.
I am Yoko, and I helped finish doing walls in the basement.
I am Super, and why am I so much slower than all of the Pokemon in Unova?
I'm Tony, and I got Quentin Flynn's autograph yesterday.
Oh, nice. Where was that at?
This Fandom Fest thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, I gotta see Shatner and Stan Lee," and I'm like, "I gotta get my copy of MGS2 signed."
There you go. Or even the Legacy Edition.
By whiny old Raiden.
Yeah. I wanted to get my original 2 signed, but yeah.
Anyway, we are part of the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com. And this is episode 20 of What Are You Playing on Sunday, July 28th, 2013. It's been a long day. We have no guests today.
Housework.
I know, right? I mean,
Oh.
well, see, that basement you guys were in a few weeks ago.
That
He was in mostly.
It was all barren and everything. It now has wall frames, just like 2x4s to be studs, screwed in on the bottom with a base plate and then a top plate into the ceiling. I mean, there's a lot to still go. We've got electricity to run cables and whatnot. You have lighting to set up, then insulation, drywall, carpet.
All these things Tony really would have
ceiling.
rather you had done before.
I know. Well, we're trying to. Oh, and
It was dark. That's all I needed.
I just realized my my Skype or my stream window is not right. Let's try
Oh.
that. Yes, that is the correct thing.
Oops. I didn't even notice.
I know, right? It's all blue and everything. No, I mean there's still a lot to go. We're trying to have it, all that stuff done by November. So I don't have weekends anymore, and I don't have, as a result, as much time for games anymore. But we're gonna start talking about during this episode of What Are You Playing here. As I mentioned, these guys were over here for our 6th anniversary of Show Me Your News. The Show Me Your News that was just on the screen there. And we had several days where, we just had some bro time and played a lot of games. Played a lot of games, as you can already see. But before we get to the games we've been playing for the past month or so, let's kind of go through them and share some of our thoughts with them. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
A lot of these, the big list where it's just all of us, is all on YouTube for the most part.
that's
by the way,
true. So yeah, we have a lot of highlights on our YouTube channel.
we'll flag moments to go look because
There
there
you
was some
go.
funny stuff in there.
YouTube.com/showmeyournews. We also have a lot of these as highlights or the full playthroughs if you're interested at twitch.tv/showmeyournews. But let's first start with New Super Mario Bros. U for the Wii U. I had played this game, the first few levels, a while back, but it was nice to play through the whole thing with you guys. And I know we had
Whole
just
thing
started
is
because,
subjective.
well, you guys were like, I want to try Wii U. Let's try some Wii U, and we get through a couple worlds, and you guys want to talk about the moment we kind of decided like, oh, well, I guess we're not stopping now.
We
Yeah, just-
skipped like 2 worlds or something.
Yeah, freaking, Yoko was just wandering around as Tony was trying to catch up, and he just walks into a pipe that was hidden, and everyone else was like, I guess we'll go that way. And we found
Well,
the
it was
flag.
also the fact too that me and you would have never found it without a
No.
YouTube video because he was tiny, like at the beginning of a level or
Yep.
something.
I
was
was
tiny and
I
he
was
just
Blue
walked
Toad.
left.
Yeah, I was Blue Toad, Super Mario, and then Tony was Luigi. And this was
course.
before we were streaming it. Actually, we decided to stream it after the fact because we're just like, we'll play a little bit of it. It's Thursday night. You guys had just gotten in from a long drive, and
Yeah.
we hit a warp pipe that allowed us to skip all of World 3. Like, see ya, Ice World.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just fucking.
I'm pretty
it was like
sure
a
we
little
would've
slide.
ended. Pretty sure we would have just ended at the ice world. We would be like, guys, I'm done. Done with the
Just like-
ice. But then we just slipped right on by.
then we're like,
And I think
oh,
there was a point I think where it was getting late, but then we were like Bowser's Castle was in front of us, and it's like, well, we
right.
might as well.
Yeah, yeah. It was quite the playthrough. We've got worlds 4 through 8 up there on YouTube, and it was quite
And
the
I'm so
amusing.
glad you guys beat it.
It was quite the amusing final battle. I mean, I'm so bad at Mario games, which we'll get to, and so, the bubble saves really helped. I mean, I think I
We
was
only
down.
all bubbled one time, I think.
Yeah.
It was a couple times. I was down to my last life, so I'm just glad I didn't lose all of them. No, that was a lot of fun. That was a good way to start things off. Then we go into that was actually Wednesday night. Actually, now that I think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Right. So then Thursday started, and Tony was playing Super Mario RPG: Legend of Seven Stars.
He was
Just to
poop.
mess around.
It was poop.
He was poop.
Oh yeah, that was the file name.
Hmm.
It's like I thought I did okay.
You were terrible, Tony. Now you.
How
Where was
far
that
did we
super
get?
jump?
I think we
You
just
got-
beat Mac, didn't we?
I think so. You just got past
Yeah.
the first world in the
Purple dinosaur.
castle. Well, you
What?
got further than that.
I remember the croc. That was the main thing.
Beat the boss in that world in the castle.
I beat
Yep.
Mac because I'd never beat him without super jump, so that was actually a lot longer than I've ever had to do that.
Yeah.
Max the purple dinosaur.
No, I can
Always-
definitely see where they got a lot of the inspiration
the
for
dinosaur.
Paper Mario from, though.
Oh yeah, yeah, like flower points and
Yeah, he knows about timed hits.
Yeah.
yeah, the Goomba just
I
leaves.
get that now. I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, like flower points, the syrups, the mushrooms, or the healing items. Yeah, it's all. That was like I remember when I went to. What was but was it just what was before GameStop? Was it
EB
just
Games.
Yeah, yeah, where they had like all
Like-
the old consoles set up and stuff.
Yep.
And I like some dude let me play Paper Mario, and I didn't know that there was. It was before I followed magazines and stuff, and I loved RPG, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to have this game.
Then Super, you tried a little bit of Mega Man Soccer.
I did not. That was Tony still.
What? Really? I thought it was you.
That was like
I-
4 seconds. I don't even
No,
remember.
it was. What were your?
I
Oh.
had nothing to do with Mega Man Soccer.
All I remember was it was like I made it like Mega Man versus Mega Man, and I made my teammates Mega Man, so it was just 20 Mega Mans running around on the soccer field.
Yeah, and then they scored a goal from like half field, and you're like, nope.
Yeah, and then we just rage quit.
Speaking of rage quitting, Mega Man The Wily Wars, huh?
Yeah, that
I
was
was-
you there.
Yeah, that was a game that should not have been as bad as it was.
What is that game for those that don't know?
Mega Man The Wily Wars is the Genesis versions of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 that was made. It was made, came out in Japan, and it actually showed up on the US's Sega Channel, for those who remember that. Even had a demo, I believe, that you could download via your dial-up connection. However, the full
Can't
game
remember
was
those
never.
things.
Yeah. However, the full game was never released here in the US, but it was released in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've
And-
always looked at this and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wonder why I never got over here. It looks really cool. It's not cool.
No, it's
I
not.
liked the music. You started Mega Man 2 because you had that rant, earlier about how Mega Man 2 is overrated. That was on a Show Me Your News episode,
Mhm.
the
Mega Man
soapbox.
2 was very overrated. But I just, I just cleared Mega Man 2, so it's like, hey, you know what? I'm at least competent at this. Not only is the game slower and clunkier, but I swear to God, a lot of the stuff that feels good, all that stuff that Eagle Raptor talks about in Sequelitis, that's gone.
Mhm.
I don't know where the jump arcs are in this game.
He could
As
not jump
evidence-
over Woodman's attack at all.
No, I did it once, and I felt so accomplished. I was just like, yeah, I did it. That was my moral victory. I
That's-
lost the fight, but I felt like I won.
That's one we do have on YouTube. That was a good moment. I did like the music remixes though.
Yeah, it was fun to hear that music on a Genesis sound chip, but I think that's the only good thing I can say about it.
Right.
The jump sound was the most irritating
Oh, yeah.
fucking sound.
That was pretty awful.
And you jump a lot. You short
Mhm.
jump.
You jump and shoot.
You jump and shoot. That's half of it, and you gotta hear
My-
that so much.
My favorite thing to do is to do the repeated short hop, just barely off the ground.
Me too.
Maybe that'll be
Oh, that's
Mega
it.
Man's Shuffle and Smash, as it were.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Something like that. Super, you went and played Gunstar Heroes.
I did. Not only did I play it, I beat it somehow.
You beat it the
Um,
next day, but yeah, this is a.
yeah. It was a comeback to and beat, but I was really surprised because I had not played that game in a very long time, and that was the first time I actually played it solo for the most part.
Well, Tony
All
tried
of
to
our,
help.
all of our attempts to have Tony help ended in failure.
Hilarious though.
Yes, hilarious as it is, I still love this game. It's still probably one of the best co-op games. If we had started it as a two-player game, it probably would have gotten a lot further for us.
Hmm.
However, it being started as a one-player game, there's only just a few moments where you can actually join in with a second player without eating into the health of your partner.
Yeah, it's only good to jump in if they're is like almost dead anyway.
Which leads to some funny moments.
Oh yeah.
Like jumping in and then immediately dying, or jumping in and having you both just get completely raffle stomped in the same move.
Yeah.
I still can't believe I got through
I spawned in
two
twice.
forms.
I spawned
I
in
know.
twice and like spawned on the boss twice. And I'm like, good.
Yeah. I still can't believe I got through Seven Force on like one health.
Yeah.
Like I had nothing left, and Tony spawns in and gets shot by the gun. It's like, Tony, you gotta stand right here, and he just slides off to the right and gets shot. Good show there, buddy.
That was a neat little game though, I have
That
to
was a-
say. I've never seen it.
That was a good display of skills.
Yeah.
Oh,
I played some Pokemon Pinball Ruby Sapphire for Game Boy Advance. That's just a little bit of it. I'm more partial to the old Game Boy Color one, but you know the Game Boy Advance one is a good one. And that was just play a little bit before I think we hadn't had food or something like that. Then we got back and played some Project M friendlies.
yeah,
This was before 2.6.
yeah.
So we ended up having that reveal podcast with the dev team there after. But that was some good matches. We eventually played it online as well.
Oh, go
Yeah,
look up
shout
the
out to-
highlight of the banjo texture not working
Oh.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good combo there.
Well, thank you. Shoutouts to Fossil for being the luckiest hammer player
Hmm.
with those 9s and the 8 spike.
Oh,
Too
yeah.
good.
That was
Although
a great
Tony-
match.
Tony knows that I fall hard against the hammer. Always.
Oh yeah, we played a match online, didn't we?
Yeah, and just
We
Tony,
played a
like,
match
first
online.
thing Tony does, jump in the air, 9 hammers me in the face.
And then he quit.
I did not quit. I came back and actually won the match, but I was very salty.
I know you were pissed.
The tears. Let's see. Tony, I think the next day we did some Super Mario World. You did.
Yeah. We'll do a co-op run of that one day with Super.
Mm-hmm.
Do all of the runs.
Yeah, there wasn't too much of that one. We got into some Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures.
We never did get drunk and play that again.
No. We got drunk and did something else.
Tony.
Yeah.
We'll get to that though.
Oh yeah.
I beat the first level of Mega Man X after some difficulty, and then the guys
There's
there...
a checkpoint in that intro level that I did not know about.
That was very interesting. There's
Hey.
I thought there was like 2 of them too.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And then these guys went and played through the rest of the game. So that was a fun
Yep.
little run through.
It was nice.
Apparently,
game.
Rolling Shield is super
Good
effective
against-
against Final Form Sigma.
Yeah,
I
you
did
didn't
not know that.
It worked
go.
out pretty good.
Super, you tried some Shaq Fu.
Surprisingly, not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. I mean, it was bad. Oh, was it bad?
Got another
But
good
not
YouTube
as
moment
bad.
there when you're facing off against Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis is a dick.
Some good ass animations in that game.
Yeah.
It's just not a good fighting game.
No.
And then we saw a Sailor Moon for Sega Genesis, ended up being Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon for Sega Genesis. Japanese game. You're kind of a beat 'em up brawler. And then Sailor Jupiter can suplex people on an elevator and break
and
glass,
make but never actually break the glass.
it's true. Break the same pane of glass multiple times.
Yeah, my goal in watching that was for you to just do it in the exact same place, like while the elevator stood still, and surely enough, we did.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Like he already broke that part, but it's more broken.
Yeah, I broke it now. I broke it now. I broke it again. Let's do it another time.
Another full run through that we did, which was fun, was Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We kind of traded off doing that. Kind of funny how we kept messing up on the blue sphere because the HD lag and all this stuff.
Which I say,
Sonic 3 nothing, didn't get anything. Sonic Knuckles kicks in.
We all got one.
We got 3. We got one apiece.
but damn, like I've never been one before. Like I think Game Grumps brought up HD lag to me. Like I never noticed it, but when I played Blue Spheres over my friend's house before this, I was like, oh.
That is a thing. Yes.
It is the worst thing.
But yeah, it's super explored a lot, and that drove me like nuts because I just run through that game in like an hour and a half.
I was going to sit back and relax and play that game because I haven't actually touched that game in years.
Yeah, it's the best.
I just like taking a long period away from these games so that when I go back to them, I'll be like, I remember this, but I don't remember everything.
Yeah,
And that's kind of a nice zone.
there was some shit too I didn't know about, like a lot of paths in Ice Cap I didn't know about.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're taking the top path.
Yeah,
Act
that was
2.
neat. That was neat.
It's good stuff. So it was Friday night by that point, and we did board games. The first one was Cranium, specifically Turbo Cranium. We were bad for the first while of it.
Yes.
We didn't move for like a half hour. I think.
Them bees. How was them bees?
I was gonna say, how are them drinks? The drinks were flowing. We did some puppeteering. What else did we do? There was some
Jackal.
jackal. Some sculptures and sculpting with clay. What was another good moment that
Scott is really good at art.
Scott?
Yeah.
I mean, he is an artist. He is quite talented. Absolutely.
We wouldn't have won that game.
That's true. You guys did pull it out at the end there. Was that Hom Tanks? I don't think that was Hom Tanks. That was Hom Tanks.
That
Yeah,
was
I think it
Hom
was.
Tanks.
Yes.
So I don't even remember the context of it.
Nope.
It was because, and this is on YouTube, if you want to know what Hom Tanks is all about. Sword Hunter and I got a question about voice actors for cartoon characters. So, like, who voiced Woody in Toy Story? Fiona in Shrek, Dory in Finding Nemo. And so the first one, we're just like, Tom Hanks. And then I think it's Cybernetic Slayer was in the Twitch chat. He types in all caps, Hom Tanks. And we're all like, Tony, you pointed out. I was like, I just want to point out that someone said in the chat, Hom Tanks. And we all had a toast to Hom Tanks.
Hashtag Hom Tanks.
Hom Tanks.
I don't think we got that trending. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, is the thing with me that makes me laugh.
Yeah. Then we played the metagame, which is, you might have, we did a little bit of feature on it on Show Me Your News. It was fun. We could continue to do that at the end of episodes there, where, kind of a video game debate sort of thing. Some good times.
Sorty is the worst judge.
He is.
That was terrible.
I mean, Gran Turismo.
That's no.
When you get cars, just regardless of the question, play a car card against
Sorty, and apparently it wins. It doesn't matter if we're talking about what game is true art or something.
Or it was.
Just what
most
game is more
beautiful.
visually appealing, Yoshi's Island or Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
On the PlayStation. Muddy
Yeah, come on.
PS1 era graphics.
Buddy,
You
PS1
started throwing out like models of cars, like okay, irrelevant, but what?
I like switch sides on that one. I'm like, no, Yoshi's the prettiest game I've ever played in my life.
That's part of the fun. I mean, you're going against, kind of playing to the judge, as it were.
You
Just
have to
like,
play the judge somewhat, but then there's just like, I play this card and I win, and it shouldn't even win, and everyone at the table knows it shouldn't win. I'm
I
so
can't
salty about that.
I can't argue about Yoshi's Island.
Hmm.
I just bought
Playing.
that actually.
Oh, nice. Playing to the judge also matters in Cards Against Humanity, and
A very,
boy,
very, very fun game, which
that
gets way better drunk.
that was the best decision of the night to play that drunk and late.
Yes.
Hmm.
Great
Yep.
moments on our YouTube channel and also here on Twitch TV in our highlights. Um, making haikus, I think, was one of the better moments. I mean, it just says,
I'm so
just
sad that I lost that one, but just all of this blood.
Yeah.
it
All of
was
this
good. It
blood.
was good competition. I mean, they just throw a
Yeah.
card out there that says make a haiku, and you have to make 3 cards. Just make a haiku. It doesn't have to follow the 575, but
Yeah.
To make it sound like a haiku because we're drunk anyway. We couldn't even
Yeah.
tell.
well, no. For those that don't know what Cards Against Humanity is, if you know the game Apples to Apples, where you have an adjective that has to be played to, and then your hand is full of nouns, and then you have to match the noun that goes with the adjective that's on the table, basically. And then you have to play to the judge. The judge selects, the winner out of those noun cards in the middle. Well, Cards Against Humanity is a more offensive version, where you have a sentence with fill in the blanks, and you just have perverse, offensive, raunchy cards in
Such
your
as
hand.
such as the haiku that won, which was Samuel L. Jackson taking a man's eyeballs out and replacing them with his balls, and taking his balls out and replacing them with his eyeballs.
Or
All
something
of
like
this
that.
blood.
All of this blood. It was a good one. I mean, you gotta check out the highlights. You gotta play that game sometime, unless you're
Hmm.
too good of a person for it. But
Honest to God, that's how I played apples to apples anyway. I just try to make the
Yeah.
dumbest,
Mhm.
funniest thing to me. So
there
that
are
was
a
like,
lot of trump cards. There is one definite trump card in Apples to Apples because of its family-friendly nature. Then they throw in Helen Keller.
Yep.
It's kind of like playing Helen Keller when all of the cards are Helen Keller.
Hmm.
yeah.
Though some are better than others, but no, it's fantastic.
I think we need to do next time we play that. Really get a hand on those blank white cards and actually write on them certain things that our community can get,
Yes.
such as
Yeah.
putting down "Show Me Your News," putting down Spider-Man in Hiroshima.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, those would be good. Then Saturday was the all-day stream, although it kind of turned out that we ended up streaming pretty much all day Thursday and Friday, and then also all day Saturday. For the times we were awake. I mean, about 12 hours a day.
We were streaming.
That was a lot.
We were busy. Like there
We were
was
so
not
tired
there
on
was not a
Sunday.
lull that weekend.
Sunday, I was so tired.
I was telling people like the next day, or, at work or whatever, like, oh yeah, it was relaxing things we did, but it wasn't relaxing at all. I mean, you just gotta keep busy and doing things, and I mean, on
Shout
my
outs
end,
to Sorty bowling a 198.
that's true. Sorty did bowl a 198. We'll
I
get
think
to
the only time we truly like chilled was when we woke up that morning and watched like Top Gear.
yeah,
Yep.
Like there was like stuff we were doing that whole freaking weekend.
that was pretty crazy.
Should-
With our schedule on Saturday, it started with we did some music trivia early in the day because I wake up early like a crazy person. But then it got to Pokemon battles through Pokemon Battle Revolution.
Man, that was a lot of fun.
That was great.
That was fun, and I'm disappointed in myself for not actually bringing my team. But next year,
You had
I
time to
got
prepare.
this.
There is also Yomicon.
Yes, that's true. And
He-
I've got the white, and I've got white version now, so I can actually trade my my EV team over to this one after I'm done and actually finish building that team.
They
We
were
actually
very
tried
close
to-
matches, though. I mean, it wasn't no like just one person or one Pokemon sweeping.
You would,
Honestly, the worst thing that I did was start off with Espeon versus Steelix. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's gonna throw when the battle started, and then before the Pokemon were even thrown out, I'm like, he's throwing out Steelix. What am I doing?
It's a wall, Stealth Rock.
He's walling Stealth Rock. I need to be bringing out Flareon and Flare Blitzinger, whatever I had.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have beat Yoko even if I got Raichu out of there.
God, that
Raichu did
that ice, that hidden power ice with Raichu, so
that
good.
was great.
It really was.
If you guys missed it, it was Tony and I were battling. It was really close. It came down to his Torterra versus my Raichu, and you think
He had one in reserve, so it was like, but I was still kind of like, I'm at least getting this Raichu down because Earthquake and Derp.
I think you only had a Stealth Rock hit on you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Earthquake, Ground. You can't use electric moves, and then I mean, my Raichu does know Grass Knot as well, but it also knows Hidden Power, Ice, and like one of the highest bases it can. So against the Grass and Ground,
Base 80
yeah,
Four
times
times super
four.
effective.
times
It was,
4.
it was a one-hit kill. And that was pretty clutch. Great matches.
I was like, what was that? And you were like, what's that? An ice? And I'm like, oh. But I wasn't even mad. I was just like, well played.
That well done. No, we've got those matches up in full, so definitely watch those as well.
Watch me get owned, and rightly so.
We did Brawl Online, but nobody wanted to play. We had Master Fossils and Exo Raikou though, who stopped
Still
by,
fun.
and that was fun. But yeah, definitely
Yes.
not as much time. We kind of canceled that early. We did some Project M as well, but then we also did Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Fun little game. I think I might get back to that one sometime.
That was when, excuse me, Super and Mark went to go get Five Guys in and Out Burger.
Yes.
Oh.
Damn.
Five Guys, burger and fries. Damn, damn, damn.
That was the best burger I've ever eaten.
It was good food.
It was a good burger, home of the good burger.
Kentucky
But-
order.
Me and you were just playing that. It was nice.
Yeah.
We found out you could duplicate characters like after too.
Right.
So it's like shit.
I want to be Kirby.
Yeah, I wanted
Kirby.
I wanted all 4 Kirby's.
I just wanted Meta Knight. Just shuttle loop and glide all day long.
Yeah, I just like absorbing the powers.
Oh, look, a boss. Pop out real quick, pop in day to day, hammer everything dead. Playing 2-player is so broken.
Yeah.
We did some You Don't Know Jack, and that's kind of a familiar to the Show Me Your News community. Really amusing kind of humor twist game with the. We were pretty good at picking up the wrong answers of the day.
Yep, I remember me and Sordy just kind of nodding at each other like, we got this. We got this.
I got it like after the fact.
Like,
Yeah,
You were getting
yeah.
on my case. You were getting on my case like you're not trying. I'm like I'm bad at this. I don't know what to pick.
And people kept on trying to screw me, and I'm like, I know this answer.
It is a wrong answer, but I know it. We did some NFL Blitz, the 2012 remake in HD. Good to play an NFL Blitz game again, although it was kind of weird. We had two controllers, Xbox 360 controllers, and then 2 fight sticks, kind of like you're at the arcade. That took some getting used to, and Soda Hunter and I did not fare so well, especially when
We kicked their ass.
Yeah.
They did.
The weirdest thing is that Tony picks up the game like that, like nothing, and he's like the winning character on anyone's team.
It's
He's just doing work, and I'm just like, I'm the guy running in the background, loses 40 yards, and then presses A for a quarterback slide. And I'm like, did it again.
Defensive line bum rush.
I did used to play football games a lot. I don't anymore. They're too complicated for my taste now. But that was like I was right at home.
That was
Oh,
fun
yeah.
time. And then weird
Go
thing
to
like
the 10-minute mark on the YouTube video and watch me dive over the defensive and offensive
I
line.
was gonna say
He just
I was
takes flight.
I was calling an audible, and I think it like the time ran out or something like that. So when I was trying to make my play, the ball snapped, and I pressed the button late for the play I was trying to switch it to. My quarterback jumps. Then Tony comes flying over the defensive line, causes a fumble like back on the 2-yard line.
I don't even know what I did, but it was awesome. And like
It was great.
you were like,
took off
what
like a
happened? And
rocket.
I like took the reins and like went to instant replay. I'm like, I think I dived over everybody on the field. Yep, that's what happened.
The Pokemon Stadium mini games as well. Those were fun in our Nintendo Power Hour. And then you also brought out some Bomberman 64.
I'm so salty you guys didn't like that, but I'm
Yeah.
like, it's definitely a game you need to actually play the one-player mode a little bit to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Because I
that was a-
remember, like, I finally remember this after the fact, like way after I was already home and stuff. Like Bomberman 64, I remember not getting past the first level in that game for months until I figured out what I needed to do. Like actually sat down, like when I used to play that game, like I would always game grumps it, I'm doing whatever and stuff. And when I actually sat down and played it, reading the tutorials and actually applying thought to the game, like that's how you do this. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And throwing a bunch of people into the game like that was a terrible decision on my part. But really,
I like Bomberman too.
with the lack of time to actually teach you guys the game on your own speeds,
Right.
really that was the best we could probably make of it. And it's really too bad considering that, the hurry up segments of the versus battle are really what makes it. That's when the walls close in or the water rises up slowly or it just does different things that really change up the scene so it's like really, really hectic. And then when you start playing with the different curses that could happen, like you blow up a rock and the skull shows up, and sometimes you can grab the skull and suddenly you're on fire and running around. Or you turn to just the tiniest little thing and just speed around.
I like Bomberman on a 2D plane. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. It definitely
Agreed.
takes that old concept and, does the 64, 3D thing. And honestly, it's still my favorite game of the franchise, 64. Hero's kind of fun, and Second Attack I need more time with because I did play that game, but I never played the multiplayer in that. So
Did you ever play Generations? It had like a fun story
I
mode.
did. No, it didn't. I hate that game, honestly. It was one of those games where I played through it because I
was
rented
younger, I
it.
don't remember it.
I played it because I rented it, not because it was just kind of like, I'm having so much fun. I'm like, I've got to get my money's worth out of this.
Oh yeah.
And the only thing that was,
case.
yeah, the only thing like in the end for me in Generations was it had a passable versus mode, which was just the old kind of SNES version. And the fact that looking on the old cutscenes, they're just so bad.
Yeah, they were
that it's
silly.
awesome.
Just like Mega Man 8.
I like Mega Man 8. But
He's
the
talking about the
cutscenes were
cutscenes.
so all bad.
Yeah,
It's
the cutscenes, yes. Dr. Wowie. We played Jackal. It's a Jackal.
I love Jackal so much. I'm
pretty
so
fun.
bad at it now.
It was pretty fun.
I think I just watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a lot of fun.
Then my headache started to kick in, and the rest of the night started to be more and more miserable for me. I mean, granted, it was still fun being with you guys and whatnot, but then it's just
Oh, I
like,
understand.
Yeah.
Then I like sucked hard at Mario 3.
Like that was uncomfortable for us too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was uncomfortable all around, really.
I knew it was going to be rough, but like some of the things that I mean, after playing through all of Super Mario Brothers U, New Super Mario Brothers U, and then going back to like the
It was tight controls.
tight controls and the firmness of it all and the unforgiving nature when you don't grow up with the game. It's tough. I mean, I think I'm going to go back to it in time and, get more practice in. It is part of my, game resolutions to do that in Mario World, but...
I might say even like play the first one a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I feel like the controls are pretty similar. You don't even got to beat it because I have trouble with the first game. That World 8, man, with the Hammer Brothers, screw that noise. But just World 8, where there's just like a buttload of Hammer Brothers in the first game.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't really beat. I think I've beaten that game once.
Oh, well, I can't claim that little times, but I know what you're talking about. That's a dick move and a half.
Yeah, just play first one, jump around, get to World 4. You probably
jump around.
Slide.
Slide to the left. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle multiplayer. That was silly.
Tony kicked my face in with that. Like,
you were cocky for like 2 years on that one, by the way.
Yeah, I was. And to be honest, I could probably still be cocky if I ever played the game in that 2 years. Like
Uh-huh.
I just came back to that going,
Sony's like,
yeah,
keep
I got
talking,
this.
keep
Yeah,
talking.
I got into that going, yeah, I got this. I got my memories. That's gonna be fine. Tony's run. He knows exactly where the rings are. He's got this, and I'm just like, where are the rings? I wanna play the game too. And then like the one time I get ahead of Tony, like the game just stops being fun for him. Time stop, heart attack thing. Amy's just being awful to him.
Yep.
And I'm
But it
just
was
like,
pretty much. I wouldn't say I kicked your ass. I'd say it was about even.
yeah. I think next year, if we're gonna do it again, I'm actually gonna sit down and actually play a little bit of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Just so I'm just like, all right, I got this. It's familiar to me again, and then I
I've
won't make
gotten
such a horrible showing on stream.
I've gotten all the emblems twice, almost three times on the PS3 version. So
Wow.
that
Yeah,
shit
that,
is
that
in my brain. Good.
I wish you
yeah,
could have
that's kind
tried
of the thing.
Shadow the Hedgehog, but you didn't bring it.
I forgot it. Shadow
Yeah,
is just something that eludes us every year, like for
guess
Youmacon
so.
even.
I'm so glad I sold mine away. I'm just like, this is gone now. It's no longer a part of my library, and I'm
I have
better
two
for
copies of it.
as you do.
Then
Yep.
we played some
Logos,
Rock
we're playing
Band.
it.
Oh, yeah, it was a Logos. You're playing it.
Well, he loves it.
Mhm.
So we gotta try that multiplayer.
We did some Rock Band 3. I missed that game. I want to play that game more. But took some requests. That was some good times. And then,
I didn't fail out.
yeah, well, we had no
I'm
fail mode
s-
on.
I know, but I didn't actually reach the bottom of the thing, is what I'm
Good.
saying. I got close once or twice,
I
but I
would
didn't.
have on Panic Attack on Expert Guitar. That shit's tough, but fun. And then the night ended with Mario Party 3. Hooey.
Yep,
I sure do like to self-sabotage there.
that was amazing. I
Dude,
felt so bad for you, but at the same time, I'm just like, this
That
could
game
not
did
have
not
gone any
like
better.
that game did not like me the whole game. I know it didn't help that I was. You gotta watch the video to know what I'm talking about. I
I
wasn't paying
fucking
attention and.
I fucking hate the N64 controller, like even more than I did. I haven't touched that thing in years. But for like the Pokemon game, for Bomberman and this, I was just like, I don't like this. This control stick wears out on all of them so quickly.
The
My
one who had
very
the
first Mario Party ever, and I did not rightfully earn a star. Yeah,
Oh.
one was given to me through like a Bowser, whatever. But
I chance timed it and made you steal sorties.
and then there was one where it's like, let's see where the next one is. Right where I am on the board.
Yeah, if it
Yep.
spawns, and I've had that happen, and it fucking sucks where you like it
Mm.
shows up where you are. So that doesn't count. You like don't get the turn and
No.
look at Toad. You gotta go around. We
No,
should have
silly.
played 5.
Nobody brought 5.
I brought 5, 6, 7.
I thought you brought. I thought we didn't. Oh wait,
I
no,
didn't
nobody
bring
brought
4.
4, and that's what everyone wanted us to play was 4.
Yeah.
Oops.
Like my favorite's 3, and it kind of showed at the end where I took everything.
Hmm.
I don't.
Yeah, Super won that one.
Those games are like expensive online. I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone's ever looked, but I don't know why.
Sunday was pretty fun. That was the day we're like, no, we're not streaming today after doing the past 3 full days.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up going to bowling where
Sortie won.
Sorty got Ham Tank's turkey.
Yo.
Ham Tanks. Then we did we did putt golf.
On the most.
Oh my god.
That course
Everything was a penis,
Yes.
except for the ones that were vaginas.
sucked. Everything was a penis and a hill. Like a steep 9-foot hill every time. I'm like, this course is
Nothing-
balls.
They had
Yeah,
two
noth-
courses. There was like the sports challenge, and then we like a walk through the woods. And it's like, it's hot out. Maybe get
There
like
was
some
shades.
shade. The shade is good. Let's do that one. No.
It was just a terrible course. One of the worst I've ever been on. Like, I don't know what to say about it. It just looked like someone threw a green mat on the ground
Mhm.
with all the imperfections in the soil and all the in the ground aside and just kind of like stabbed a hole. This is where the hole is, and none of them made much sense. Like,
And then the
And
last
all
one
the
you,
hills.
last one
yeah,
was
you,
super dumb too.
I got so
yeah,
pissed at a hill I knocked a ball into the creek because I wasn't hitting it hard enough.
yeah.
You did smack that one pretty hard.
That one was a terrible one too, honestly. God, just like none of them made sense in mini golf terms.
Nope.
Like normally, like when you go to mini golfing, you can look at a hole and like, all right, I need to do that and bounce it off that and then I can get a hole in one. These were just kind of like hit it and hope something goes your way.
Yeah.
Not one of us got a hole in one that entire.
What can I say? We got the shaft.
It was like it
Mhm.
was like across the street from his house, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I just after it was over, and we were all just like, "That sucked." I just told Yoko, "Well, if you ever get anyone to visit next time, you know not to bring them to this course."
Maybe
Well,
try
that's
the
a good deal
sports
though.
one
Yeah, I was
next
gonna say
time.
try the other one. It was one course for $6. They had two, and then so if you do two, it's $9. So buy one get one 50% kind of thing. We got back. We watched some Evo. Melee was good times.
Holy shit, that was
Mango,
fun.
Yup.
Mango ran it back.
I found him on Twitter. He streams sometimes.
We watched some Game Grumps animation.
Mhm.
Then wrestling.
I'm so pissed at that pay-per-view. Like
Glad
so
we
pissed.
saw it. That was a good intro
It-
one.
I'm so pissed because Raw the next night, which is the free Monday night show that's on every week, to those of you who don't know, was fucking awesome, and I didn't drop $60 for it.
Nope.
Not a dime, and it was so good. There were so many slow matches. The things have developed like since then. You know the guy the bearded, sophisticated one who got the briefcase. He the other guy like took it from him Friday, and he threw it in the Gulf of Mexico, and it was very funny. Yeah, he's like,
just like.
oh, the arena they were in was like right outside the Gulf of Mexico, so he just threw it in there, and then he was just freaking out. He's like, "My briefcase, somebody save it!" And he's like, "I can't swim," and I'm like, "How are you a professional athlete and you don't know how to swim?"
Okay.
It was fun.
Alrighty then.
Now that
The
is
last
wrestling
2
for you.
weeks of free TV have been way better. Is my point. I'm pissed.
Well, we got up
I
to a
was
lot
drunk.
of fun. Yeah, you were drunk. You got up to a lot of fun
Me
that
too.
weekend. Again, check out the highlights on YouTube here on Twitch TV/Show Me Your News. A lot of stuff there to watch. I think uploaded for YouTube it's like 41 videos that ended up being 11 hours worth of content.
Sorry about the YouTube, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. YouTube and Twitter spam.
Mine too. I had to scroll way down to watch all the game growths when I got home.
Yeah, jeez. Well, I mean, there's good stuff there, so definitely check it out. Now that we're 45 minutes plus into the show,
Yep.
Super, what have you been playing?
I have been playing some Mega Man. After getting home and having played Mega Man X, I kind of got the itch to play a little bit more. And so I was over at a friend's place and we booted up Mega Man X2. Now, there's a couple caveats to this. Number one, I played with a classic controller like we did back at your place.
Yes.
The A button is a little further away to people who don't know, which I've never had a problem with. But when you kind of use one thumb to do all the motions in Mega Man X, it is a problem.
Yeah. And number two, it was off of an iPad with an emulator that was streaming to an HDTV. So instead of running at 60 frames per second, it was running at 30, which means
Yeah.
sometimes an opponent would flat out disappear, or his attacks would flat out disappear because he was flashing.
Yep.
And I had absolutely no idea what was going on.
Not good. Isn't there like
yeah.
slowdown? There's like slowdown in that game too at some parts, wasn't there? Like in the
couple
trash, the moth.
No, I didn't get any slowdown against him because this was an emulator.
Okay,
And the emulator was powerful enough to run that, but it wasn't powerful enough to run the emulator and streaming to a television at the same time.
understand.
So I was having issues.
And that
And
slowdown
that was-
helps too on that moth, so that was probably hard in its own right.
Yeah, probably. Nah, not really. I remember how to fight him fairly well, and I was able to keep my control scheme throughout the entire time where R was dash. Instead of having to switch back and forth all the time. But I remember X2 And this was the first time I actually ran through while attacking all the enemies with Mega Buster instead of their weaknesses. That's a more difficult game than I remember.
It's fun though.
It is fun. I'm actually starting to really enjoy Buster run throughs instead of going for weaknesses. Sigma was
Sigma's not
something.
bad.
Yeah, he just takes so many hits, but he keeps spawning enemies that drop health. So it's just one of these, I guess it's a battle of attrition. Just learn how to
Yeah.
dodge most of his moves, and
And you
there
got
you
four
go.
sub tanks.
At the time, I only had two, and they weren't even
That's
filled.
still, yeah, that's still like plenty. The
Yeah.
only hard part of any game is if you don't restore zero, because that's not Black Zero. Black Zero is like if you save zero.
Yeah, if you save
Damn.
Zero, he gets destroyed. No, Zero himself, and I didn't get all the pieces because I just really wanted to fight Zero.
It's hard, isn't
And
it?
it's hard, but there's a really easy pattern against him that
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it's a Buster pattern too. So there's no weaknesses against him either. So I just did that, and it was just like jumping around, having a good time. And
Is
you know,
like
X4 is X4 the what am I fighting for?
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
first one on
Yes,
PlayStation.
yes.
yeah, it's the one where you can't switch between characters.
Oh.
Three was
X5.
weird though. Zero, three you can have zero, but if you die with him once, you can't use him again, so it's not even worth it.
Yeah, but there's a way that you can get around it. Get around like with you can take a certain route, get Zero, fight one mini boss in the game that you could fight with Zero, that immediately kills Zero after you beat him. But then Zero gives you his saber, which then you can use against Sigma's final form and kill him in 2 hits.
Yep. It's a weird balance. Three is weird, and oddly enough, I think the best way to play these games are on that X collection because the
Yeah.
PlayStation controller layout's really good.
Hmm.
Because it's like a SNES controller pretty much for the first three. But three is like the PC port, which has animated cutscenes in it, which are neat, but it's slippery as all hell.
And the graphics are muddy.
And the sound effects are weird, and the music's weird. Like they picked the worst version of three.
Yep, and actually, I was talking to the pawn shop around here, and that guy just got picked up X3 for the SNES for
Holy
like
crap.
$5 because the guy didn't know. I got so pissed. Well, I was talking to
X3
him. I
is
didn't.
really, really rare. It's the
Yep.
rarest of the series, I believe.
Yep, it
One
is.
of the rarest Super Nintendo games, even.
The only thing rare in the Mega Man series is I think like Mega Man Soccer and stuff like that. But like out of numbered series, Mega Man 8 for the Saturn is the rarest.
For obvious reasons.
Going easily for $200 a pop.
Mhm.
Mega Man X3 is about 100.
Dang.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
What else did you
Like,
play?
I'll sell to you. I started some Metroid.
Okay.
I have no idea where I am. All I know is that when I get hit, I get very hard, and I do not have much life.
Wait. What?
All I know is that I have no idea where I am, and when I get hit hard, and I don't.
Oh.
So
You-
I'm very,
you
very.
just-
You get hit
forgot a
hard.
word.
You get hit hard. Got
You,
it.
you said
it.
you just get hard, and I'm like, what?
Must have gotten cut out.
I believe so.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Oh, I got hit. Yeah.
I get hit.
Have you played Zero
Yes.
Mission?
No.
You should play Zero Mission instead. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, you know what? Zero Mission isn't on 3DS.
All right.
Maybe they should change that.
You
Yeah.
got an emulator you were just talking about.
Yeah, that was on an iPad that my friend owned. I've got tons of emulators, sure, but they can't beat the just portability of the 3DS. That's where I want to give them my money, but they're not letting me.
You should find a way at some point. It's really good. Like after you play
Yeah.
it.
I'm sure. Just, tell Nintendo that. I want to
Okay.
give them my money, but
Okay,
they're not
I'll
letting me.
email them right now.
Okay, we're good. Good. Tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it.
Everything's gone.
Should make the John noise from Game Grumps. The blah 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 blah. blah.
I need you to stop being such an absolute moron right now. But the number one game that's been taking the majority of my time is Pokemon 1.
Pokemon White.
White 1.
Okay.
White one.
Again, I think you left out a word there.
I did that time.
Pokemon 1.
It's
Yes,
red,
yes.
I
blue.
wanted to fake everybody out with Project M.
Green. Oh, I
Which
got you. I
I
got you.
did play. I did play Project M, and we had a small impromptu tournament, which I won. But that was 2.6.
Of course.
Well, yeah. I'm using Mario, Ivysaur, and Sonic now because Sonic's not actually fun to play anymore.
They
Bummer.
nerfed him so hard.
Fuck your up B, I fucking Vine Whip ass bullshit.
Uh,
Me and Yoko learned there's a sweet spot to that.
Oh, we
and it's
Several
learned.
easier
times
to
over.
do in 2.6.
Great. Happy for you.
What do you think
Well,
of
maybe you
Pokemon
should
White?
do- Pokemon White. It's much more, in a sense, a balanced game. I think that the EXP given out is different depending on your level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's different, and it's actually really annoying.
Yeah, you have to grind more in that game.
Yeah, there's a lot more grinding in this game. That's a good way to put it. You mean you don't have to wait so long for your lower Pokemon to gain levels, which is kind of nice,
Yes.
but it starts to equalize out with you 4 levels underneath or 4 levels above, where it's just too slow. Your Pokemon is either too under leveled to actually deal good damage, so they die immediately. So you have to trade to a Pokemon that's 4 levels higher. But by not trading, but switching out. But if you switch to a level to a Pokemon who's like 4 levels higher, you run a different issue of the fact that you now give your opponent a free move every turn. And since you're only 4 levels higher, they still do a good bit of damage to you, and it takes you another 2 turns to kill them, unless you can, you have that super effective move that one-shots.
Yeah, in that game, Audino cannot show up in the wild enough to give you
Yeah.
the crap ton of experience.
The only one I found, I actually caught so I could get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And then I heard that it was like just an experience bomb.
Oh, it's
Really?
so much.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, I will pay attention to that when I can. But insofar, I've only had one thing of rustling grass. So,
Yeah.
and right now I'm actually training in some area where it should have been showing up, but it didn't.
Now, where are you at in the game?
Nimbasa City.
Okay.
I had a really awful moment in the game that I still can't explain. I saved right before the gym leader, and then I fought the gym leader, and everything went to hell. Got paralyzed.
Those Emolgas.
Yeah, just like I got paralyzed first hit, every Pokemon. And it was with one of those attacks that were like a 10% paralyzed chance or something like that. And then they just volt switched every
Yep.
turn.
Yep.
And, what's unfortunate is that all those Emolgos are flying electric. My team is
ground.
made up of fighting and water types. So aerial ace, aerial ace,
my God.
aerial ace, just volt switch, shockwave, all those things wipes out all my team.
Yep.
So even though I am higher level and I could power through it, I got paralyzed, so I couldn't. And the flying moves means I can't use my fighting type moves. Because
They're
which-
rough to deal with, for sure.
yeah. And it's just like, I just need a rock or an ice move. Oh, look, the only rock in the game is this Roggenrola thing,
Yeah.
which is probably the most annoying thing to fight.
Oh my god.
Hey, let's just throw the only rock Pokemon you can find in this game and hand it Sturdy,
Yep.
which we've boosted to not be able to be one-shotted. So it's always going to take a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this little weak thing that doesn't really even hit hard, and its defenses kind of suck anyway. Because, rock is usually weak to moves that have primarily special hits. So you have to raise your special defense. Well, this thing doesn't actually seem to have a good special defense.
Well, I hope you do, stick with the game. I mean, the Elite Four is really
Yeah.
well thought out. The story's quite good for a Pokemon game.
Yeah, I'm sticking through it. I just beat N's face off again. After the very, very creepy and a little bit off-putting Ferris wheel ride.
Does his music box theme remind you of Harry Potter Hedwig's theme?
Not really.
I don't know. I kind of get like audio flashbacks to that in a way. I don't know.
I'll keep an eye on. I'll keep an ear open for it next time because I wasn't really thinking about it. But I think I can see where you're coming from. But I'll have to listen to it again. All I know is that I don't really like that theme. It's too short too, and then it repeats too quickly.
Yeah, it does.
When it repeats like 4 or 5 times, just during the Ferris wheel scene.
Yeah.
And it's exceptionally noticeable because it has this kind of weird fadey stop, then it just starts up again.
Did you ride the roller coaster with the girl?
The girl?
You ride the roller coaster in that game.
There's girls in Pokemon?
There's girls on the internet?
What?
You ride the roller coaster, not the roller coaster, I'm sorry, the Ferris wheel, with a girl in black and white, the first game. And like I had talked about it when I first played it, a couple years ago, on Show Me Your News. And I was like, oh, is this, really like kind of romantic-y, flirty moment with Pokemon? And like it's different, but I like it and all this stuff. And then in the second game, like, I'm not sure if it's the same person, but like it's the same kind of feel, but then like she's a mother and she's expecting, so it has like a totally different meaning. I don't know. Try riding the Ferris wheel, but not with N. And
Okay,
it's a
yeah,
nice
I can
little-
do that.
It's a nice little cutscene thing.
Like, I'm literally standing right outside the gym right now
Oh, okay.
when I close the 3DS, so I can just, walk 3 steps to the right and check the Ferris wheel again.
Yep. I'd recommend it. Any other games you've been playing?
No, that actually wraps it up. Have not been playing much. I've been wanting to play more, but, real life's getting in the way.
I know that feel, bro. Tony.
Man, Angry Joe is being angry on Twitter, believe it or not.
Whoa.
Wouldn't be the first person in the gaming industry to be angry on Twitter this week.
Well, that's his thing, so it's like, it's okay. Look up that later. It's pretty crazy. He's not being a jerk, he's just
What's
defending
being
his stance
crazy
on
on?
something. He mentioned that in Final Fantasy 13-3, oh my god, it's weird to say that. That they're adding,
Yes.
yeah, they're adding jiggle physics to her boobs, and he's like, that's dumb, and everyone is jumping on his case, like, why is it dumb? You're stupid. And he's like getting pissed at people.
Nice.
That is pretty
It's-
silly.
But they're like calling him a radical feminist, and my favorite is he retweeted this tweet that said, "You sound like one of those people that used to masturbate a lot, quit masturbating, and then get mad at people who masturbate." I'm like, wow, I'd be angry too, even if my name didn't have angry in it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Anyway, I haven't been playing too much. I've been playing Walking Dead mostly. Like I just got off that to do the podcast. Really,
Thank you for finishing that sentence.
no problem. Uh,
Oh yeah, zombies.
I'm almost at the end of.
Sorry.
I'm almost at the end of. It's okay. This is what we're here for. I think I'm almost at the end of episode 4. I'm just trying to finish it because I got a lot of little short games on my PS3 I want to get to, and I'm kind of wanting to check out indie games a little bit, like Terraria and Braid, and just some crap I haven't missed or I've just missed over the last few years
The
because I'm
Unfinished
in.
Swan.
Yeah, I'm just kind of in a. I want to do some short, kind of pretentious ass games for a while because they'll be easy and fun. Not easy, but short.
Unfinished Swan is like 3 hours long, so.
Oh, okay. Journey was like that too. It was like,
Yep.
oh, that was nice, and I'm done, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling that lately, and I kind of wish I got into Walking Dead when it was episodic.
Yeah, me too. Like in hindsight, that would have been really nice. So I mean, I'll get to it. I played the DLC, so that was kind of nice to play that, pretty soon after it came out. But,
And I got the Krabby Collection.
yeah.
And I beat the first Kirby game. I don't remember the name of it. This is the thing I always had trouble.
Is
Dreamland.
that Kirby's Dreamland?
I'm
yeah,
pretty
Dreamland,
sure.
when he was,
yeah,
when he was still black and white.
yeah. I've never gotten into Kirby like fully. I played them and I really enjoyed them, but I've never like gotten into them numerically or when they come out because I was really confused about what came out first.
Hmm.
Because they all have different names, and like some have one, two, and three in them. I think it was like the SNES games, or I don't even know.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
Dreamland, and then
Yeah,
Dreamland 2
2
came
and
out, and I
3.
believe that was Game Boy. But then Dreamland 3 came out, and that was on the SNES, and it came out around the same time as Superstar,
Mhm.
and that one used a lot of crayon-like drawings, but then
yeah,
Superstar had that more gamey, digital feel to it.
yeah, and this one's like this collection is like the first six. Like I did finally look up the order. I'm like, oh, I guess that's a good place to start.
Yeah,
So I
Dreamland, then an adventure,
beat that
etc.,
first
etc.
one. Was surprised he can't copy abilities in the first game.
Yep.
It was the second one on the NES, and it was hard. Kirby games are pretty easy now.
Mhm.
That was difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? Spring Breeze and a Superstar 2 is like that, but short.
Yeah.
So like I've noticed a lot from just the Game Grumps first episode. I'm like, oh, it's these bosses. Day to Day was. I don't think Day to Day was too bad. I had trouble on the Cloud boss. I don't know what that thing's called.
Kracko.
That thing
Oh,
kicked my
yeah.
ass.
Hmm.
Didn't Sakurai do like a version of that as an enemy for Subspace Emissary? Like not Krakow exactly,
Something
but
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
variation. Yeah.
yeah.
Very
But it's
similar
fun.
boss
I'll
and slash
probably,
enemy.
I'll probably like play one of those games between other games because they're not really lengthy. Well, there some of them might be, but it's just a few sit downs and they're really cute and fun. So I like
Yeah,
Kirby.
I'll be honest. Dreamland 3 is the only one I actually don't really like,
Yeah.
simply because while playing it, it actually gives me a headache.
Why?
The
Hmm.
style just gives me a headache.
Oh, I'll have to get back to you on that one. I can't wait to play
Yeah.
64, actually. I played it
I'm
when I was
not
a
surprised
kid.
if I'm the only one.
Yeah, yeah. I only played 64 as a kid, so I'm happy to go back and revisit that one a little bit.
Hmm.
I remember
That
it
one,
beating it and that ending, like, not 100% ending, creeped me
oh
the hell
yeah,
out. Ugh.
that one just out of nowhere always
Yeah.
gave me like a what's going on?
Yeah, I think that's it. There's lots of. I bought Klonoa because I watched
Wow.
Cat Icarus
Hmm.
play that and it looked
Yeah.
fun. Go watch Cat Icarus's videos. He's good.
Hmm.
Oh, we got YouTube recommendations later. That's mine. I'll go back to that later. Yoko, what are you playing?
Like I said, I I have not been getting off to zombies.
That's
Hmm.
good.
But I did
So
play.
is this DLC take place after the game?
Right. So what it is The Walking Dead 400 Days is the name of the DLC, and it 400 days. They're different mini stories that kind of take place over the 400 days of the story. So this is the in between title between season one, which is the 5 main episodes, and then season two, which is the sequel still to come. And it's kind of an in between thing to hold you over. But they give 5 little mini stories, and they each take about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's not the longest DLC, but it's good. So
How
you
much
have
is it?
it's $5.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So you basically have these little stories. You introduce you to new characters, and it's going to just more choices and more decisions that will kind of just funnel itself into a playthrough of Walking Dead season 2. Really interesting stories, and I was trying to pull up on my phone here because it was a month ago I played it, so I'm trying to remember like what I did in a way, and I remember most of the stories, but some of them kind of escape me. For those that don't know, I won't like go too into detail like who stayed and who went and all that. But basically, I think I had three
I
of the
yeah,
five.
I don't know who survived yet either. So
Right. I had 3 of the 5. Basically, the characters who stayed with Tavia. And I missed one of the achievements, unfortunately, which was unfortunate, and that is a spoiler territory. So hey, maybe the Walking Dead game is an episode for Superfluous if you get around to playing that one.
you should.
I would recommend
It's
that one.
it's really fun.
It's
I would love to play it. I would also love a computer that could run it.
I know the
Get
whole
on get on Xbox.
Yeah, but I already
Yeah,
own
but
it.
it's laggy
But I already
and
own it.
buggy and
Not when
things.
you download it. Like
You
I've been
do
playing.
you already have it on Steam?
No, I've been playing it on PS3.
Oh,
There is some frame skippy, but it's not like unplayable like the disc version. The disc version is fucking
oh, you
atrocious.
got the
Yeah.
digital version. I got you.
Yeah, I got the digital version and it's fine.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
works just fine.
Um, but yeah, the achievement I missed. I stood my ground to a passing car, and if I hid, I would have discovered something. Hiding would have been more natural considering the setting, but I'm like, I'll stand my ground, whatever. And I missed this achievement, so now I don't have, 100% achievements and whatnot. And what you discover is spoilers, but it would have been a really good spoiler to come across had I not looked it up later to see, like, what is this achievement and how did I miss it? But it was a very good DLC, and it's
Did you know that part where when you beat a chapter, it like shows you what
Mhm.
you like the big choices compared to everyone else
Yeah.
they made? This fucking shocked me that it was the ending of episode 3. This isn't really a big plot point or anything. It's just this part where this girl is just getting like torn apart by zombies, like they're just about to get her.
Mhm.
And you have this option to shoot her and like end her, but then the zombies will probably come at you,
Yeah, oh,
or
yeah.
just like let her scream and let the zombies go to her. And I shot her because I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a good guy." And when I beat it, it was like 40% of the people chose to shoot her, and I was
Yeah.
like,
There you go.
Fucking really?" People don't give a shit.
No.
Too many people are getting into this zombie idea, I think.
Mhm. Okay, I saw like some sort of lame book. When people submit screenshots of really stupid or funny or whatever Facebook posts, and one was like, what was the recent zombie thing that came out? Oh, the World War Z movie.
Yeah.
So someone was posting a status about like, really World War Z, like you're ripping off The Walking Dead, and someone was like, how are they doing that? Oh, with zombies and how they bite people to transfer the virus, and there's like a screenshot below. It's just like, fucking really?
Did
Like
Wow.
every zombie thing ever, you think?
do you guys remember when vampires and zombies were like cool, and then Hollywood figured out that people liked them?
Yeah, yeah, I remember
I'm
those
like
times.
I'm like really over kind of
Yeah.
zombies.
Mhm. What else have I been playing? Some Borderlands 2. I finally got around to playing that, and that was like a month ago as well. I sat down for like a 4-hour session. I was liking it, and then like I'm like, it's a long game.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a long game. And so then the anniversary happened and whatnot. Haven't gotten back to it yet, but I was liking what I was playing so far. But now the time is that's an investment for all the things going on right now in the real life consequences. Let's see, Project M. Played some Project M 2.6. That was good. And then I got an iPad. So I now have iOS games and whatnot. So I had the Phoenix Wright HD collection before. And I paid for those games because I had played them on emulators, whatnot, the first time I experienced them. I'm like, no, I'm giving them my money. So here's my money. And so I'm playing through the first one, and I'm seriously so close to finishing it. I was playing it, and it includes the first game includes the Rise from the Ashes case, which for those that don't know, let's give a little quick backstory. The first 3 games in the trilogy, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations, they're all originally Game Boy Advance games from Japan. They remade them for DS, and that's what everyone knows. They just think they're DS games. Well, they use Game Boy Advance graphics, sound chips, etc. Later down the line, they released an actual DS version of the first game, which included a 5th case, because Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations had 5 cases technically, but the first game only had 4. So it included a 5th case on this DS re-release, and this 5th case actually included features that would be later included in the Apollo Justice, the 4th Ace Attorney game such as, you can check evidence, you can rotate it. There was some video playback things, includes profiles, so just kind of advanced the feature set, which is kind of a stark contrast if you think about like the first 4 games, which are an outdated system. Then you have this 5th case with like new features, and it's all like fingerprints and spray things and all this stuff. So it includes that in the first game, which I'm so close to beating. If you're familiar with the Rise from the Ashes DLC, I'm on the last day of the trial where the culprit has returned back to the stand, and I'm at the point where it's like, do you or do you not want to show the critical evidence with the cloth and the fingerprint, the handprint rather? And it's just like, I am so close, but podcast beckons, so I'm going to be getting back to that and knocking that one out.
Yeah, I hate finding a stopping point when I'm playing games before we do these. Sometimes
Yeah,
I'm like,
right. But it's really
That's why I like
nice.
about the DS, because I just kind of closed it, and I'll reopen it in a little bit.
I mean, I can close it and reopen it too, and oh, look at that! It's Phoenix Wright right there. Oh, look at that. Yeah, yes.
hey, there's this Sonic game only on iOS called Sonic Dash that I really want to play and can't, so
Okay.
I'm jealous you have that.
Okay, I maybe should check that out. No, honestly, this is a really good. The HD upgrade looks really nice.
Especially on iPad, I imagine.
Especially on iPad, yeah. However, this Rise from the Ashes extra case that they added, more spelling errors than I would have expected.
Uh-huh.
And it's really not that apparent in the first 4 cases, but this case in particular, trials will be misspelled as trail sometimes. There was even February. Was it February? Something like that. There was someone threw like an L in February, and I'm like, how does that happen? Oh, it was February.
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 Because they kept on taking all of our L's and turning them into R's,
Exactly.
apparently.
It was just like when you come across that, like, you didn't do your job, and it's like it's only in this case that it was readily apparent. So you get past some of that. I love those games so much, and I'm really hyped for Ace Attorney 5, the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, the localized title for 3DS, out this fall. There's DLC that's coming to America where he has to defend an orca whale. Phoenix Wright will free Willy.
I hope that's what the DLC is called.
I want it. So I'm gonna go back and try to play through some of those. That's really what I've been playing, though. It's been a really slow month as far as game playing. And we'll talk about that kind of stuff later. Oh my goodness, we are having a longer podcast here. Let's get to...
Well, that's kind of okay.
Yeah, I
considering-
suppose. Mail time here. Got some mail time questions.
Mail time.
The first one comes from Skulljumper. If Nintendo did another Pokemon Coliseum game, what could they do to improve it?
Which one
Better
was
models.
Coliseum?
Coliseum was the GameCube game with the Shadow Pokemon.
Oh, with the story mode?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't played that.
It was the
Turn it into a full game.
Yeah.
Make it, I don't know, like an MMO.
I think you already said it, and I may have just not heard you clearly, but random battles is absolutely the answer that would have fixed that entire game.
Yeah.
When
Sugar
all of your
Conroy has a playthrough of that. I should watch that sometime.
when your only experience comes from trainer battles, and then you have to reset the area so that you face those same trainers again, and there are no wild battles, and you're forced to double battles, and you have this dumb mechanic that you have to free the Pokemon's hearts before you can use their full moveset, and not just this Shadow Rush move that has recoil. And so then, because of all these trainer battles, you technically have a limited amount of experience to get, and if you wanted to change your party, well, good luck. random battles, wild Pokemon battles would have solved the problems I had with that game. I really enjoyed Coliseum, but I got to a point where, like, I beat what I thought was the final boss, and it's like, surprise, twist, real final boss, and he's 10 levels higher than the last guy. Like, no. No. So
No. No.
You said no. Yeah, wild random battles would have solved that game, and I think that's what they have to do.
Yeah, just don't give us too many gimmicks here. Just give us a straight up Pokemon game for council.
Mm-hmm. And the story was pretty nice for all things considered. And then I played some of XD, and it kind of has the same issue.
Bring back Team Rocket.
Yeah, do that. Do that. That would improve it. Guys, a question for you here from Kelly Ace. Now that Dan is settled in, care to give any thoughts on the new Game Grumps?
He can play a video game and learn how to play it as he goes.
It's great. I love it.
I think it's pretty good.
Here's something that just came out. I wasn't gonna bring this up because I figured people had enough of me talking about Game Grumps, but
Game Grumps.
there was another development recently where Egoraptor went on the subreddit and basically said thank you to people who stuck with it. I don't think the fan base has shrunk at all, really.
No, I think
Like-
if anything, they've grown a little bit.
Yeah, I looked and I see the views are about 200,000 still on regular videos, so that's not a problem. I've noticed too that especially with the Zelda playthrough, I'm captivated by just watching the game because they're confident, and then just next time on Game Grumps, I'm like, it's been 10 minutes. What?
Nah.
Egoraptor came out on the subreddit and just said thank you to everybody who. He said he's never been a proponent of telling people, oh, well, it gets good, you should stick around. He thinks people should just, do that themselves. And he's so happy that people have stuck around and enjoy it. He said he loves Dan. He always pushes him to work harder and stuff. And his comedic timing's great. And people did, because Egoraptor rarely posts on the subreddit, somebody did come out and was like, hey, are you and John still friends? Because you don't mention him on the new show at all. And is everything okay? And we finally got an answer to that. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that.
I think I did, but go ahead.
He basically came out and said John wanted to move on from the show, and to respect that, if we bring him up every episode, or that just kind of brings him back to Game Grumps, and he really wants to move on. He said the worst thing that could happen is if John works his ass off on new JonTrons, and the top comment is, come back to Grumps.
Yeah.
So it's a respect thing, not a we hate John thing, which made a lot of people feel a lot better because I think it was deliberately not mentioning him sometimes, and everyone was like, oh man, he pissed Ego off or something before he left.
Well, I mean, you were mentioning it before. It was all about the friendship, and when they were playing games, they're two friends playing games in a room, and you didn't want that shattered. So
Yeah,
that makes
and
sense.
everything's fine. John's working. I think I heard something like he wants to make a few videos before he updates. So I can only assume that's why he's taking long, or he's a lazy bastard. I don't know. I don't know the guy. But Dan is freaking awesome. I'm still watching them all every day, and they're really good. Watch a Skater Die 2 if you just want a fun one-off. That shit was pretty funny. Barry's been doing more edits lately too, which is always
Nice.
always
Those
nice.
are always good. Yeah.
OMG.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Barry did a fun thing at the end of Skater Die 2 or whatever. But yeah,
I've
it's
seen,
great.
I've seen a
Raptor.
couple. They're good. Definitely keep checking them out. I'm not sure about Steam Train, but
That does not get many views, and I do click a random episode or every so often. I like Ross. I like Dan. I think they do okay together, but
it's not.
I don't
the
think
same.
it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be as big in any way at all. Especially they had a bad first episode. I think that hurt them
Yeah.
tremendously.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So
No, but
They tried
Game-
though. They the next day they gave us Castle Crashing. That was much better.
yeah.
But I don't even remember the first game they played.
long live the Grumps is
Was
what
it
I have to
Hotline
say.
Miami?
Oh yeah, Hotline Miami was probably it.
Yes. Last question here from Kind King 01. If you could gender swap for a day, would you do it?
I didn't see this.
Uh, yes. When are you going to be able to do this at all ever?
Mhm.
So it's like, of course. I don't know anyone who wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's like, who literally wouldn't? Like everyone's like, well, if I say yes, everyone's gonna think I'm a girl. But it's like, no, it's just like it's a day. It's not gender swap for life.
Yeah.
It's gender swap for a day.
Am I
It's
on my
huh.
period or like going into labor that day? Then no.
Tony, I don't believe you can get pregnant and have 9 months go to 9 months
Oh,
term on a single day.
it's
unless-
not- it's not my day.
Rules.
It's not
Well,
my day.
Yeah,
It's like that genie kind of shit where he's just like, okay, well then.
there's certain points where even with bad genies, I don't think he'd go to do that unless like you were really bad at picking up like any sort of subtlety. Oh, you'll be a woman, all right. Fully capable of the gift of life.
I was trying to think of like what the inverse to that would be, because like, man, like if we had
No,
a
men
female
have it
guest,
made
like
here.
what would they say? And like the equivalent of what that would be like, oh, I turned into a guy, but I have ED, so I can't get it up.
Nah,
Like,
No,
is that the worst that it gets?
That thing's uncomfortable in the pants sometimes.
in the pants.
it depends. Don't wear tight pants.
It doesn't bleed, but I think the worst thing is just like that's a thing that's just on you. Can't do anything about. Can't tuck it away or something. Well, I guess you can, but this
Some
one
people
got
can.
weird. I'm happy this is the last moments of the show.
Yeah. Hmm.
Speaking
But yeah,
of which,
I think this is a
I guess that might be as well be a. Oh, my answer, yes, yes.
not elaborate further.
Boobs, yes.
boobs.
I mean-
Yes,
I mean,
we
just-
wouldn't.
Just the
We- we-
information, like
Dishwasher, yes.
We wouldn't see Petessa,
knowledge.
which is your female name, by the way, Petessa.
I think
we wouldn't
Petra.
see that.
Petra would be a better one, actually.
Petra.
Yes.
No, sorry, that only makes me think of Petrie from Land Before Time. I'm sorry.
Mm. I
And
think
that was a
just-
boy.
Just the knowledge. It could be invaluable. Anyway,
You'd feel fat all day. Oh.
like
Oh.
Tony aptly mentioned here, so we have an awkward transition here. This is the last episode of What Are You Playing?
Yep.
No.
Now, several reasons for this. I know it may come as a surprise and whatnot. But guys, real life is catching up pretty hard. Not only like our work is accelerating. I mean, these guys have jobs. I have a full-time job. We now have we were talking about it during the anniversary festivities and whatnot. And we're like, we have our own kind of side project shows now. I mean,
Each one of us.
Super is superfluous. Tony has the superplex.
And he's got super down the sidelines.
Super down the sidelines.
Super down the side.
But this on top of Show Me Your News, and then if we want to do top tens, and Sword Hunter and I and Phil, we have 3 episodes of WTF Pokemon to get out before Youmacon in like 3 months. There's all of that, and I have all my thesis stuff to do. Like it's a lot. So I mean, not only is real life catching up, we have other shows that we're working on. And it's a way to kind of minimize our work.
Is this goodbye for good? Yes. If you don't listen to the
No.
other shows, yes, it's goodbye for good.
if you don't listen to the other shows, yes. But hopefully you do on the Show Me Your News network. No, I mean seriously. If we just kept adding shows that we did and real life added our shows, like we'd have a breaking point.
Yeah.
And this is kind of our way of making sure that doesn't happen. Because we don't want to be having like any sort of meltdown. And all
Oh
that.
no, I've found this to like we've been playing less and less,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like we should focus on the other stuff.
Right.
And I'm not getting on. If you listen to this, I'm really happy, but I don't. We haven't really gotten a lot of like support for the show. It's just kind of the thing we did.
Well, it's not the only reason. It was just just saying that like oh, it didn't get the views, so it got cut. Like
No,
that's
no, no,
that's
no.
not it
We've
at
No.
got a
all.
lot of
But
stuff going on, but I feel like that was like, it was mostly for us. I think is why we did it.
yeah,
We didn't want to get rid of some of the aspects of it when we wanted to do the break of Show Me Your News and What Are You Playing.
the reason
Uh,
we split it was because Show Me Your News was getting way too long.
Yep.
We had the idea for the network, and we needed shows. So it was a really good idea at the time. I don't regret doing that. It's actually I think it's the most fun podcast we record because we're talking about games and we're just BSing here, and it's fun, and I think it's fun to listen to. But the fact is, like, it wasn't as successful. I don't regret doing it. It was a worthy attempt. It was something we had to do.
Yeah.
But with an increased focus on Show Me Your News here, the Show Me Your
Yeah.
News podcast, that's
And the
also a
network
big part
in
of it too. Smash is back. You know, we cover Smash, granted in one headline on Show Me Your News. It's not a whole podcast based on it, but that's, you know, Sakurai and Miiverse and updates there. What can you do? But if we want an increased focus on Show Me Your News, we're also hitting a point where it's like, what do we do with guests? If we bring, you know, notable guests on here just to talk about games and just to, you know, shoot the shit, like, what is that really doing for us?
Yeah,
As
that's
a
something I
brand,
thought
like,
about too.
If we just kind of consolidate it back into Show Me Your News and just be smarter about how we do that, we bring the guests in that way, and that makes more sense if you think about it.
right.
The way I see it too is like the new games we play, we cover on Show Me Your News, and probably Super, I can't say it,
Super flouse.
Super Show,
Flouse.
and we'll like go into spoiler territory. And if we're playing old games, we got Twitters.
Yeah.
We don't. It's like we can do it there, so it's not like we're losing a lot either. I feel like.
Right. I mean,
Right.
we're not deleting the content. The content's staying up, you know, as far as the time capsule goes. Like, the site's going to stay up. We just also have a lot of work to do on the main page of the site, you know, reorganizing things, you know, kind of redefining network shows. Like, we're growing, we're changing. It's a necessary thing, you know, when we're just about a year-ish old on the network coming up here. But the thing is, like, parts of this show, it's important to note that they're not going away. I do
Right.
want to still bring What Are You Playing back into Show Me Your News, but just as a matter of list things. I mean, we can't go into depth and talking about it, or else, you know, the show's going to end up being 2.5, 3 hours long again. I really, what I really liked about this show was that it was that time capsule sort of thing where you could go back and kind of, you know, kind of capture our feelings about the game and whatnot. But while we could go into games more in depth on Superfluous, which, you know, that kind of brings that into play here.
Well,
I want to
here's the
I want to still bring up the games we were playing at this moment in time, and I think that can be done in a quicker format by bringing certain aspects into Show Me Your News again, and things
Right.
like the YouTube video recommendations. It's a nice thing to kind of wane off an episode on. So
Yeah. One of the main things to note is What Are You Playing served a great purpose as something another show for the network to have. Now we have those shows. We have Down the Sidelines, Superplex, Superfluous, Show Me Your News, Top 10 videos, and Read the Manual.
read the manual. I mean, that's if you definitely want to get a really great, for those that don't know about it, if you want to get a great sense of a time capsule thing, I mean, the Debaga and Gym Leader Ben, they do, you know, games.
You want to just hear
movies,
shooting the shit.
Anime. I mean,
Yeah.
Let us shoot the shit. The show.
and
Yeah, and
those
that's actually-
episodes, those are 3 to 4 hours long. Like, those are your long form podcasts for sure.
And that's really kind of what I'm kind of saying here is that What Are You Playing? The soul of it, it's already being used and it's already there in Read the Manual. While this has been the three hosts talking about games, those two have been going on with everything. And, you know, now with What Are You Playing ending, you know, they can actually have a little bit more focus on games if they want to. Because that was one of the small caveats. It's just like, okay, but, you know, games is on What Are You Playing? Well, now Read the Manual can have the full host of that.
Right.
And they should.
So again, I mean,
Yes.
I don't regret doing this at all. I think it was a really smart idea for the time when, you know, the network was new. and I've really enjoyed doing these episodes with you guys, of course, but I think we can find a way to consolidate aspects of this show back into Show Me Your News to make that even better, make that just even tighter focus. And I think this show has served its purpose well. And before we burn out and just kind of get way too overwhelmed with all the shows we're doing, let's just dial it back a little bit.
Yeah. Good times, though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I hope that makes sense to our
What
fans
Are You
and whatnot.
Playing was a very good idea, and it served its purpose. But now it has come to the point where it's at its natural end.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's a good point. Plus, the show's spelling didn't help it on Google searches and whatnot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Where are you playing?
That's how it was back in the day. You gotta stick true to your roots. Well, anyway,
Yep.
You'll be hearing some of these things on Show Me Your News, I'm sure. So definitely check that out, the Show Me Your News podcast at the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com. Showmeyournews.com/forum. Plug. Let's end the show
On plugs.
on plugs.
Unplug.
We're working on site stuff, by the way. So look
European
forward to
plugs are
that.
different than American plugs. What is up
Okay.
with that?
This is true. Yeah, Tony, you're saying we are working on site stuff, and that is true.
Look out for that. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
We got the code.
We're working. We're working.
My wrestling
Let's-
page should be up soon too. Yay.
Yeah. So let's end this final episode 20 of What Are You Playing, with our YouTube video recommendations. I'll start, and it's not really a YouTube video, actually, but the guys over at Speed Demos Archive are doing their marathon. It's called Summer Games Done Quickly. Now, they've had games done quickly, streams, marathons. I think the last one was, it must have been about 6 to 9 months ago-ish. And I was, talking before the show with these guys, it's where I saw a great Pokemon Gold speed run. These guys, they have, 4 or 5 days of 24-hour streaming, raising money for charity. This one is for Doctors Without Borders. And they've raised over $100,000 already. I think their current goal is $150,000, and they're going through tomorrow into Tuesday. They started on Thursday, I believe. Serious business. They've got different speedrunners playing through these different games, and they save these highlights on twitch.tv/speeddemosarchive/SDA. So any of the games in their schedule that if you want to check out, definitely do so. But I'll have the link in the show notes. Marathon.speeddemosarchive.com is their website for this. Go check out some games being sped run. It's great stuff. The Summer Games Done Quickly for 2013.
I will say, as I did earlier, to check out Catacris. And he just did a Croc review. He's mostly a PlayStation guy, so it's kind of refreshing to me because I feel like a lot of reviewers on the internet are pretty heavily Nintendo roots. This guy grew up with PlayStation. There's a lot of crap on PlayStation that's just kind of obscure that I didn't really play growing up. So I had a 64. But you can spell his name Caddiccarus. Look up his Croc review. I think that's a good place to start. It's cute. He's funny. He's like British Jontron is the best way I can describe him. Who
Good way to
updates.
describe someone.
Who updates?
I think I might ask him to be on the show sometime, actually.
That'd be a good idea. Especially if he's British.
Yeah.
And my final recommendation is actually going to be someone I'm pretty sure I recommended once in the past. Shmo Yoho, Xing on the Yo. I just recently, wonder what those guys have been up to. Last thing I had actually seen from them was Romney's Concession song. That was 8 months ago. And in the last 6 months, they've uploaded 9 videos, which is a lot more than what I recalled. And a lot of them are quite good. Smash, 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 The Roar on Drugs is a Failure, and Dead Giveaway are all great. But there's also DJ Play My Song, subtitle, No, Leave Me Alone. All fantastic.
They really do great stuff. And for those that don't know, They are the Auto Tune the News
Yep.
team. Yeah, and with a lot of the viral videos and, you said Dead Giveaway was the that horrible situation in Cleveland
Yep.
with the abducting the women and all that. I mean, taking those kind of viral moments and making music out of them.
So the
They
Cleveland
they do
sports
great work.
teams weren't enough burden on the city.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, DJ Play My Song was actually a full kind of, song, but it also had like Psy from Gangnam Style in it as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Eh.
it's been a longer episode of What Are You Playing
Fitting.
here, but I agree. Fitting, indeed. Wow, it's crazy to think when a show like this comes to an end. I mean,
I've never ended a podcast before.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
Well, barring that comic one, but that was like an end to a much bigger chapter for me. So
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, it's been real, guys. I mean, we've got aspects of our show coming into Show Me Your News, so all is not lost. But it's been a good run. Thank you guys for doing this for 20 episodes here.
Oh, it was fun.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end.
It is time to end. The fun continues at showmeyournews.com. With that, I'm Yoko,
I'm super.
I'm Tony.
and we're out. Keep playing some fun games.